Okay, we're looking at the thermal images of the steps here, and what you can see is they're a cold area, quite a distinct pattern really, and if you look at the pattern on the wall, it's a very similar pattern, and if you look down on the steps itself, the timber is actually wet. It's not very nice at all. So we've got to just focus in on that. You can see how the pattern is actually quite similar. As there's cold, damp wall in that spot, and you compare that with the rest of the cellar. Actually, the rest of the cellar, you can see there's little or nothing. If we focus in on that, you can see that there is essentially no problem with that wall. It looks bad, but once you actually start playing with it and looking at it, there's nothing wrong with it. So you bring it back to the thingy, there it is, and it looks a little bit cold in the far room. I think that's just because it's going into a different part. There's slightly different temperature regime, you know. And then this is the outside wall, which, you know, it's got all sorts of marks on it, but really when you look at it, there's a pretty constant temperature zone, a little bit cooler along the bottom of the wall. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, you can see it, it's quite normal. That's a vent to the outside, which is obviously a little bit cooler. But you look at that thing in the corner and there's definitely something going on there. That's a different shape, isn't it? It goes right up in the corner. So what we'll do is go outside and have a look at this particular spot outside and see what is going on. So we're just coming around the outside now, and what we find in that corner where we had a problem, if you look here, there's a drain, and this is always the issue with these things. And if we look down, I think you can see that water here. Try and get to it. You can see there's a huge gap behind this, and water is spilling out, and you can see that it's going all over the top of the gully. It's hardly going into the gully at all, it's just going actually onto the wall and down behind it. And you see it's disappearing over the back there. And it's being fed, not actually into a drain, but down the back of the wall, which is exactly where we saw that problem. So there you go. And while you're at it, any other minor damp problems, yeah, you've got a big splash mark there, and if you look up the top, I don't know if it's going to get wet, but there you go, it's dripping, you see it? And so I don't get too much water on the camera, but you can see the same thing there. So we've got wet, damp splashes, which is causing damp internally on those particular walls inside, and the only reason is because somebody's got a broken gutter. That's how easy it is to sort these problems out. A lovely old look at that sort of Georgian Shropshire Georgian architecture out the back of some of these buildings. And they're just gorgeous. Private alleyway. That's fantastic.